Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is another comic book review, and I hope you enjoy. This is not just another review though, it's my 25th video on this channel. Thank you all who are watching for the support. What better way to celebrate than to review the first appearance of my favorite Superman rogue, the Parasite. He has always been my favorite ever since I saw him in Superman the Animated Series. Written by Jim Shooter and penciled by Al Pacino in Action Comics issue 340, this was the first appearance of the very first man to call himself the Parasite. The first Parasite is Raymond Jensen. He is not the most well-known Parasite, but not the least one. Sometime I plan to make giant videos just going through a character's history, and Parasite seems to be a good one. The last review I did was the first appearance of Doctor Doom, and now it's the Parasite. I mention this because in the second Superman Amazing Spider-Man team-up, the two villains teamed up in a chance to defeat the two biggest superhero icons in the world. If Parasite is a villain that can stand with the likes of Doctor Doom, he must be special. Also, I may review this comic someday. If you have any comic review ideas, please leave them down in the comments below. In fact, I'm kind of excited to. This is actually the first time I am reading his first appearance, and I hope you enjoy me taking you along on this ride. In fact, just on the first page, it describes Parasite as the most powerful foe Superman has ever faced, which is saying a lot since he's fought enemies like Brainiac before this. I love how this comic book starts with Superman conducting an experiment from radioactive materials he's brought from space. We don't know why he's doing this, he just is. Then we're introduced to Raymond Jensen, a worker ordered to dispose of the radioactive waste after Superman has finished his experiment. He then gets consumed by the radioactive rays after looking into it, and then he faints. A scientist finds him and helps him up, only for his energy to get absorbed by Jensen, because he touched him. He even steals the scientist's knowledge. Parasite, after returning home, testifies that he can be the world's greatest supervillain with his power, and the only way he can be stopped is if people avoid him, so he can't feed off their energy. He figures absorbing Superman's power will give him enough energy to survive forever, and with that power, nothing can stop him. So Superman during this time is building a new hospital, and Parasite is there waiting for him. When Superman arrives as Clark Kent, the Parasite walks by and starts detecting and absorbing Superman's energy without even touching him. I find it funny that Parasite is actually in a trench coat here. Parasite leaves and figures that if Superman ever gets in his way, he has an upper hand on him knowing his secret identity, which I think is kinda dumb. Parasite just leaves? He could have just taken him down right there. Clark Kent couldn't have fought back and showed everyone that he was Superman in his civilian clothes. But, whatever. Of course, Superman shows up to Parasite's robbery, and Parasite automatically starts making Superman feel weak. Slowly, he's sapping all of Superman's power. Even after fainting due to the Parasite's beatdown, Superman still pretends to be powerful, and that causes the Parasite to run away. Parasite then goes after Lois Lane to stop Superman from coming after him, and that doesn't go too well. Here it seems like Clark Kent and Lois Lane are more than just friends, partners, and even could be lovers, which is how it's supposed to be. They're seen together more here than in the last Parasite vs. Superman comic I reviewed. Even though Superman's almost beaten, he has to go back and stop Parasite before he tells everyone his secret identity as mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent. Now, Superman is cautious and actually treats Parasite as his most dangerous enemy yet, which is why he is my favorite Superman villain. If we had more appearances of him in a movie, with Superman reacting to his appearance like he does here, you guys can see how happy I'd be. I would just die of excitement. After still beating Superman to a pulp, Superman starts to retreat. This battle is pretty long, I know, and I love it. Superman doesn't even seem to have a plan to stop him. He just keeps trying to stop Parasite with his fists. Superman dodges one of Parasite's blows and gets the upper hand. This comic keeps having twists and turns throughout all of it, and it gives a good example of the desperation of both sides. Superman and Parasite are both fighting, literally to the death. If Superman wins, Parasite will have no energy to feed off of and die, and if Parasite wins, he'll drain all the life out of Superman and kill him. Then Parasite starts to steal all of Superman's memories at the end, causing him to freak out. So first I need to talk about Superman. He definitely is always doing something heroic in these comics. First it was to save a house from a sinkhole, now it's building a new hospital. Here, I love when Superman tells himself to keep going and never once thinks about giving up. Mostly of this issue is the fighting, and even though Superman is weak and maybe a little scared of Parasite, he keeps pushing and trying his hardest to stop Jensen. Now, Parasite, this is probably one of the best supervillain introductions I've ever read. He's kind of silly also, especially his trench coat at the start. He seems like a bad guy in the start of the comic, always being fired and hating the people he works for. When he gets his powers, he automatically thinks of becoming a supervillain with them. That's a fine supervillain motivation, sure, for money or just to rule the city, but here, it's like he always wanted to be a supervillain. Fighting Superman was awesome, and I love how the battle quite literally went across the streets of Metropolis. Him having the same powers of Superman later in the comic is a nice touch, even though here he doesn't fly or use X-ray vision, and as a side note, the Incredible Hulk, Marvel, has green skin and purple pants. Here with Parasite, it's the exact opposite, green pants and purple skin. I personally think Parasite looks much cooler. When Superman first confronts Parasite, it's a very fun little superhero moment. The weirdest thing is Parasite gets defeated by his own greed, but at the end, it's so weird how they explain it. He basically has so much power, he explodes and seemingly dies in his first appearance, just like someone like the Mole Man from Marvel Comics. There's a second part to this comic about Supergirl. I don't feel the need to talk about this story here. Maybe some other day if you guys want. Superman's not even in this one, or in this part. Yet again, I'm reading a comic that I think deserves a 10 out of 10. I can't encourage you guys enough to go out and read it for yourselves. So, thank you all for watching, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.